So let's start today's class. So let me clear you first thing that this class will be the last class for the customs. If there are any doubts regarding Customs Act with anyone, please let me know today itself. Tomorrow or maybe in the next class, we will start income tax. So there are three parts in the statutory taxes. One is GST, second is customs, and the third one is income tax. So two parts are complete, will be complete today, and the third part will be started in the next class. So let's start where we have left in the last class. We discussed about few duty-free clearances under Rule 3 and 4 of baggage rules. Now we will discuss one or two of them, that what are the duty-free clearances under Rule 3 and 4, because details we need not discuss or it's not in our syllabus because it's a long list. For now, we just need to know one or two things. We will discuss that. What you can bring in your baggage. Suppose you are returning from Dubai and coming to India. Your custom authorities can check your bag and you should not have more than this much, whatever written in the baggage rules. So what is that? Gallery. If you are residing in abroad, you were living in Dubai from last more than 1 year. In that case, if you are a lady, you can bring 40 grams of gold or rupees 1 lakh rupees of gold, whichever is lower, because gold price may go up or down. So in Indian currency, total price of gold should not exceed 1 lakh rupees. So if we talk about today's price, it's around 63,000. So you can simply think that how much gold you can bring. It's not even 40 grams now. If the gold price goes lower, then you can bring 40 grams. In today's terms, you can bring hardly 15 or 18 grams of gold from any country you are coming from. If you are a gentleman, 20 grams of gold you can bring. So 50,000 is the maximum limit in terms of the gold you can bring. So if you talk about today's price, you can hardly bring 8 grams of gold because 63,000 is the today's 8 grams of gold you can bring because whichever is lower. So if you are a gentleman, you can bring 20 grams or 50,000, whichever is lower. If you are a lady, 40 grams or 1 lakh, whichever is lower. Mind it. If you are a man, you must be gentle. If you are a lady, you need not be gentle. It's just lady. Let's go forward. So lady and gentlemen, let's come forward. In case of transfer of residence, you were residing in Dubai. Now you want to come back to India. You want to return to India. You want to transfer your residential status to India. So you are coming back to India finally, and you are closing whatever things were there in Dubai for you. So how much you can bring? So you can bring duty-free allowances as per Rule 3 and 4, which we discussed a few, that is jewelry. There are a lot many other things as well. Plus, apart from the duty-free allowances, plus you can bring personal as well as household articles, but not unlimited. Firstly, you can bring articles which are mentioned in Annexure 3. So Annexure 3 is there in the rule, baggage rules. You need to read it fully. Whatever is written in Annexure 3, only those things you can bring in terms of personal and household articles. When you are returning from Dubai, finally, you lived there for few years, few months, and you are returning back finally. So the articles which are mentioned in Annexure 3 you can bring apart from the things written above. And mind it, it should not be articles mentioned in Annexure 1 and 2. And within monetary limits, again there is a limit as per the period of stay in abroad. So how much period you were there in Dubai or any country whatsoever, that much you can bring. So if you lived in Dubai or maybe any country, if you lived in abroad for 3 to 6 months, you can bring goods worth 60,000. So personal and household articles you can bring worth 60,000. If you lived for 6 to 12 months, personal household articles worth 1 lakh you can bring. If you lived for 1 to 2 years, personal and household articles worth 2 lakh you can bring, provided the condition is you have not availed this 1 or 2 lakh concession in last 3 years. So you can avail this benefit once in 3 years. If it's more than 2 years, as per the conditions, you can bring 5 lakh rupees up to 5 lakh rupees of personal and household articles. So these are the exemptions in the baggage that you can bring along in your baggage in your journey from any country to India. I hope it's clear to everyone. Next topic, the exemption from custom duty. So apart from this is baggage. So what we have discussed is baggage, what you can bring in your bag. Now we are going to talk about what you can bring or you can call, you can get from abroad, even on the call, from courier, from import bill of entry and all these things. So how much duty you need to pay and what you can bring without payment of duty. So what are the general or other exemptions apart from baggage? Oh, there are so many exemptions. Like Custom Act is full of exemptions. If you go to exemption notifications, there are n number of exemptions. So we are not going to study all these exemptions. We are just going to understand what all exemptions would be there in the Custom Act. So there can be fully exemption or partly exemption. For example, you can bring 2 bottles of wine, not more than two. So that's a partly exemption. That's not a full exemption. So fully exemption or partly exemption can be there. Unconditional or conditional. You can bring duty-free wine only. You cannot bring general wine from the general market. You can bring from the duty-free shop only. So this is conditional or unconditional. The conditions can be before or after clearance. You should not use it during the flight. The wine should be used only after the journey is over. So that is condition after the clearance or maybe before the clearance. The exemption conditions can be general or specific. It can be for general. Everyone who brings wine bottle has the exemption. Special, only the presidents or and prime minister of all the countries have the exemptions. So these can be the exemption from custom duty. Some examples of general exemption is to privileged persons or organizations. For example, UN agencies, governors, Ford Foundation, Vice President of India, foreign news agencies bringing cameras, etc. These have blanket exemption, general exemption to the privileged persons. Whatever they bring, they have exemption. No one can stop you, no custom duty. So these are the general exemption. Indian Navy, Police, Ministry of Defense, Coastal Guard, they have general exemptions. They can bring anything in India. There is no duty, no tax. Remember, there is no such exemption for central government, state government, local authority, or department of government. The exemption is for special persons, privileged persons, or organizations like UN agencies, governors, Ford Foundation, vice presidents of India, specified equipment of foreign news agencies like camera, etc., Indian Navy, Police, Ministry of Defense, Coastal Guard, but no exemption to central government, state government, local authority, or department of government. Special. There can be special exemption to special persons or to special cases. It can be based on following discretionary provision. Anyone government can give exemption. maybe for industrial growth of the country or control of economy. Anyone can get any exemption, but if the government issues such notification, or on the moral grounds, government may issue such notification, like for damaged goods. Suppose you are bringing some goods from Dubai, that wine bottle you are bringing from Dubai, and it got destroyed during the flight. Will you have to pay the duty? No, because it's a damaged goods. Morally, it should not be dutiable. If something is destroyed during the transit, there should not be tax on that. You have already lost your goods. How government can tax on the lost goods or damaged goods or deteriorated goods? You brought ice cream from Dubai. It got melted during the journey. It's a deteriorated goods. Government cannot levy tax on that. Goods reached Indian soil but not available for exemption. You brought the ice cream to India, it reached Indian soil, but it's not available for consumption because it's got melted. Just the water or the melted ice cream is there. Government should not levy tax on that melted ice cream because it's not available for consumption. So this is the smallest example for something which is on moral grounds or something which do not reach Indian soil at all. The ice cream which you brought from Dubai, it got melted in the journey and you destroyed into the flush of the washroom of the airplane. Now it does not even reach to Indian soil at all. How the government can tax that ice cream which did not reach even Indian soil? So this is a good example for moral grounds. So government can exempt any such things which are on the exemption grounds, on the moral grounds should be exempt. Or even the discretionary, they have the power to use anything. They can do anything exempt. So these are the exemptions. Now we will talk about refunds in Custom Act. So when you can get refund of import duty or export duty or any custom duty paid to the custom authorities. So if you paid excessive duty while clearance, suppose you brought something and government levied tax at the rate of 18%. Later on, you found out, hey, the tax was just 15%. How they levied 18%? It's wrong. No problem. You can get the refund. How? Fill an application in duplicate form in the prescribed form to the government, along with the relevant supporting documents like payment proof, reasons of refund, why you are asking for refund, and evidence that burden not passed further. Now this is important. You paid 18% tax. Maybe you brought a laptop from Dubai. You paid 18% tax on the laptop, or you paid 30% tax on the laptop. Later on, you found out, oh, tax was just 15%. But now what you did, suppose on 1 lakh, you paid 1 lakh 30,000 is your cost, because on 1 lakh 30,000 you paid as custom duty. Now cost for you in the laptop is 1 lakh 30,000. Now you sold that laptop to your friend for 1 lakh 50,000. You earned 20,000 of profit on that because it's a Dubai mal. It's very cheap. It must be priced 150 or 180 in India. So you sold for 150 to your friend. So what you did, you actually passed the burden of duty which you paid earlier to the custom authorities. So basically, now if you want to get a refund of duty, you will not get, because you passed the burden of duty which you have paid. It's 130 and you have passed it, you have sold it for 150, you already have profit. Even the duty you recovered from your friend, now you cannot ask for a refund. You are already in a profit. So since you have passed the burden, you will not get refund. So the condition is you have to prove it that you have not sold it. Or if you have sold it, you sold it just for 1 lakh 18,000 or 120 or 125. Just a marginal profit you have earned and you have not passed on the benefit to the further person. Then only you will get the refund. If duty not paid, now just think of a situation. You paid duty late. So the rule is if you do not pay import duty within 5 days of bill of entry, then interest would be payable. Now, since you paid excessive duty, you are claiming refund pro rata to be refunded. Government cannot enjoy your interest. If they have not charged you higher, how can they keep the interest on the higher amount? Suppose on on 30,000 of duty, you are claiming 50% refund, but you paid the duty late. So 30,000 is the duty, but you paid 33,000. You will get a refund of not just 15. You will get a refund of 15 plus 1500. Pro rata interest, you will also get a refund. Refund can be lost. So when can you file the refund? Within 1 day, 2 months, 6 months, or 1 year. So the rule says within 6 months of clearance, or I would say date of payment of duty. So suppose you paid the duty wrongly in the month of January, you can claim refund up to July within 6 months of clearance. And date to date, suppose 1st of January you paid, then 1st of July is the last date to claim the refund if there is some excess payment due to any reason. If it is for personal use, if it is for personal use, you purchased a laptop for personal use, not for resale, then you can claim the refund up to 1 year of clearance. Or if it is government, the government has paid excess duty for any reason, they can also claim within 1 year. Or by educational, research, or charitable institution, they also can claim refund in 1 year. If you paid the duty under protest, protest is you are not accepting the duty. You are saying you're wrong. The duty is not right. Still, I'm paying you because I have to clear the goods. So you paid the duty under protest. You are protesting the duty. No, I don't want to pay the duty. It is wrong. So in that case, you can claim the refund within no time limit because you paid under protest. If you paid the duty provisionally, I'm paying the provisional duty. If the difference is payable, I'll pay. If the difference is refundable, I'll get it. Then the time limit will start from the date of adjustment of duty after final assessment. We studied in few slides back that if provisionally you pay the duty, you will have the opportunity to get your assessment done finally from the custom authorities. So in that case, the date of 1 year or 6 months will start from the date of final assessment or the final payment or adjustment of duty. So this is the case of refund. Now, as I just told, the buyer or importer or the exporter will get refund only and only if he has not passed the burden to further person. Suppose I'll give you again the same example. If you have purchased the goods for 1 lakh, if you paid the duty as 30,000 and it's wrong duty, you want to claim 15,000 back for any reason, but you sold the laptop for 150 to further person. Now in this case, you have already got the burden passed to the next person. You cannot get a refund. There is no unjust enrichment. You will get the refund and you will enjoy that refund. No, you will have to pass the burden. You will have to pass that benefit to the other person also. That is the case. If you have not passed the burden to another person, only then you will claim the refund. If it is for personal use, naturally, in case of personal use, you cannot pass the burden. It's you who has borne the whole tax. In case of export, the burden cannot be passed upon because export cases, duty is not payable. In case of duty drawback, again, the case of export, there is no unjust enrichment applicable. If borne by such class of persons, there are some rules which specifies that if the burden is borne by so and so person, you can get the refund. till that no such case has specified by government, and in case there is no claimant, suppose you have not passed the burden, but the government is not able to identify that whom to give the refund. The duty is wrong. The duty should be 15,000, but government has recovered duty as 30,000. What will they do? They can rectify their own mistake, but there is no 15,000 refund person. Who should give the refund? Because the person who has paid the duty is no more traceable for any reason. In that case, the refund will be given to Consumer Welfare Fund. So this is the completion of the topic of refund. Yes, this is the completion of custom also. Today, custom is complete. If there are any questions, please let me know. I'll answer the questions till 6 p.m. The custom is over. If there are any questions related to customs, please let me know. So slide I'll share definitely. So today itself I'll share the slide with the respective authorities. Hopefully they will share the slide with you all.